If you thought hip-hop drama couldn't get messier, think again, because the unthinkable just happened. Papoose, once known as the loyal husband of Remy Ma, is now on his knees literally begging her after being left humiliated in front of the entire industry. And the reason? Two words that have the internet on fire. Claressa Shields. Yes, the boxing champ who had been linked to Papoose in whispers and rumors for months just took her gloves off and delivered the knockout blow no one saw coming. In a move that left fans stunned, she dumped him not in private, but in public. And not just for anyone, but for her fiancé, the same man she's now flaunting all over social media. The shade? Brutal. The receipts? Leaked. The fallout? Absolutely insane. And right now, everyone's asking the same thing: how did a secret fling spiral into the most humiliating moment of Papoose's career? And more importantly, what happens to Remy Ma now that she's back in the spotlight, watching it all unfold? Because the whispers say she's not just sitting back and laughing, she's planning her move, and it could end Papoose's reputation for good. If there's one thing hip-hop history has taught us, it's that scandals don't just appear out of nowhere, they brew quietly, building pressure until they explode in the most public, humiliating way possible. And right now, Papoose is living that nightmare. This is the same man who built his entire image around loyalty. The same Papoose who held Remy Ma down while she served her prison sentence, who was praised for being the definition of ride or die in the industry. For years, he was untouchable, the gold standard of a faithful man in a world full of scandal. But every reputation has its limits, and every secret has an expiration date. It started as whispers, vague, almost unbelievable. How could Papoose, the loyal husband, be caught up in any kind of affair? And not just with anyone, but with Claressa Shields, the undefeated boxing champion with a reputation for being as fierce outside the ring as she is inside it. Sources say it began innocently: industry events, friendly conversations, harmless networking. But insiders noticed the energy shift. More private meetups, flirty banter that felt a little too familiar. And then came the most telling detail: sightings of Papoose at Claressa's training sessions alone, without the excuse of cameras or press. Still, nothing concrete. Until last month. That's when a backstage photo from a private boxing exhibition surfaced: Papoose standing just inches behind Claressa, his hand lightly touching the small of her back. The photo went viral instantly, but both brushed it off. Claressa called it nothing but support. Papoose, he didn't even address it. Silence, the kind that makes people look harder. But while the public was debating if this was real or just another gossip cycle, things behind the scenes were shifting fast. Multiple insiders claim Remy Ma confronted Papoose privately about the rumors. It wasn't a screaming match. It wasn't even emotional, just cold, surgical questioning. What's going on with you and her? And Papoose, according to these sources, denied it all, but his body language told a different story. And here's where it gets messier, because while Papoose was busy dodging Remy's suspicions, Claressa Shields was facing her own storm. Behind closed doors, she was reportedly clashing with her fiancé, man she's been engaged to for over a year, over trust issues. But instead of staying private, she made a move that no one saw coming. She invited Papoose to an exclusive, invite-only after-party following one of her matches. No entourage, no Remy, just them and a tight circle of Claressa's people. Witnesses say they looked comfortable to comfortable. From that night forward, the whispers turned into screams. Papoose's absence from family events didn't go unnoticed. Remy stopped posting him entirely. And Claressa? She was suddenly very active online, posting cryptic captions about loyalty and choosing happiness, paired with selfies that had fans dissecting every detail. Then, last week, the bomb dropped. Claressa posted a slideshow on Instagram, her holding hands with her fiancé, both smiling like nothing else mattered. The caption? A single line that sent the internet into chaos. It's always been you. But she didn't stop there. Oh no. The very next slide? A close-up of her hand engagement ring gleaming with a background song choice that made jaws drop. Cry Me a River by Justin Timberlake. Fans instantly connected the dots. This wasn't just a romantic post. This was a public goodbye to Papoose, the ultimate flex, dumping him for the man she'd been with all along in front of the whole world. Within hours, blogs exploded, headlines blared. Claressa Shields makes it official with FIANCÉ. Weeks after Papoose affair rumors, did Claressa just publicly end things with Papoose? Remy Ma staying silent as Papoose gets embarrassed online, and the silence from both Papoose and Remy deafening. At least until yesterday, because that's when a shaky cell phone video hit the blogs allegedly filmed outside a private Bronx restaurant. The clip shows Papoose standing beside a black SUV, talking to a woman in a hoodie who appears to be Remy Ma. His tone? Desperate. His hands out, palms up, as if pleading. No audio, but the body language told the whole story. Papoose begging. And now, the question isn't just how far this went, it's whether this moment marks the end of Papoose's clean image forever. Because if what we've heard about what happens next is true, the most humiliating chapter of his career hasn't even started yet. The SUV footage of Papoose with Remy Ma didn't just trend, it detonated. Within minutes, every blog, every gossip page, and every fan forum was circulating the clip, zooming in, slowing it down, and reading body language like it was a crime scene video. And the verdict from the internet? Papoose wasn't talking to Remy, he was pleading for his life. One Twitter thread with over 80,000 likes summed it up. The way his shoulders slump, the way his hands stay open. This is a man begging for another chance. That's not debate energy, that's desperation. But while the clip fueled sympathy in some corners, it also unleashed brutal humiliation in others. Because the timeline was already replaying Claressa's Instagram post on loop and noticing details nobody caught the first time. Slide 3 of her "It's Always Been You" post. A candid photo of her and her fiancé hugging in the ring after her last fight. But in the background of that shot, barely visible but still there, was Papoose, standing off to the side, hands in his pockets, expression unreadable. This wasn't just a goodbye, this was a burial. Claressa didn't simply move on. She positioned Papoose in her love story as the forgotten extra, the man watching another man win the prize he thought was his. And it only got uglier from there. The day after her post, an anonymous insider, allegedly someone from Claressa's training camp, DM'd a major gossip blog with screenshots of text messages. These weren't random fan fabrications. They had timestamps, contact names, and a tone that felt painfully authentic. The first message, allegedly from Papoose to Claressa: "You really gone do me like that? After all the time we spent?" Her alleged response: "We didn't spend time. You showed up when it was convenient. I been had a man, Pap. I told you from the jump." Another text, 2 hours later from Papoose: "It wasn't just nothing to me. You had me out here looking crazy for you." Her reply: "Brutal. Nah. You made yourself look crazy. I just lived my life." That exchange hit the blogs like gasoline on a fire. Fans didn't know what was worse, the fact that Papoose was clearly more invested than Claressa ever was, or the reality that she told him up front where he stood, and he still played himself. The memes came fast. Photos of Papoose edited into third-wheel situations. Clips of boxing knockouts captioned "Claressa to Pap's ego." Even old Remy Ma photos resurfaced with the caption, "Sis, you seeing this?" But while the internet laughed, insiders say Remy wasn't laughing at all. According to someone close to the couple, Remy had been publicly silent but privately furious, not because of Claressa, but because of the sheer audacity of Papoose being sloppy enough to get caught in the first place. "She's not blindsided by this," the insider claimed. "They've had problems before, but Pap's brand was clean. Now it's mud, and Remy's brand gets splashed too, whether she likes it or not." And if the humiliation wasn't enough, Claressa turned the knife deeper. She went live on Instagram just 2 days after her dump post, sipping from a wine glass, glowing and ready to address the rumors without naming names. She said, "Ladies, if you're engaged, don't let anybody mess that up. If somebody slides in thinking they can take your spot, let them know the seat's already taken. And if they still don't get it, let them embarrass themselves. The world needs a good laugh." The comments section, a war zone. Papoose packed in 4 sentences. She talking about him without talking about him. Savage. Pap. Log out and heal, bro. But the biggest gut punch. Midway through the live, her fiancé stepped into frame, kissed her on the cheek, and said, "Ain't no competition." Boom. Clips from that live spread like wildfire, tagging Papoose in every repost until he finally broke his silence. No video, no direct address, just a tweet. "People love to perform. I'm just focused on my family." Fans weren't buying it. Replies flooded in. "Your family? Or the one you almost lost? Say her name, Pap. Be a man about it." Family focus after you got dropped harder than a rookie in the ring. Then came the worst twist yet, a voice note leak allegedly from Papoose himself, sent to a mutual friend. The audio was raw, emotional, and completely off-brand for the confident, unshakable Papoose. Fans thought they knew. "Man, I messed up. I thought it was more. I thought I had her in a way nobody else did. But she ain't never let him go. I was just a moment for her." Hearing him call himself a moment shattered whatever pride he had left in the public's eyes. And that's when the blogs started hinting at something much bigger. One outlet claimed they'd seen proof that Claressa's fiancé had known the whole time about her interactions with Papoose, and that the public dumping was part of their plan to humiliate him if he ever tried to make it more. If that's true, Papoose didn't just get played, he got plotted against. And the worst part? The same sources claim Remy Ma already knew before the public did, and now she's deciding whether to take him back or make her own public move. If you thought this was just a messy breakup gone viral, think again. Because what started as an embarrassing side piece exposed moment just morphed into something far more sinister. A calculated takedown that might have been in the works for months. The first signs came from a leaked DM exchange allegedly between Claressa's fiancé and a close friend. The screenshots dripping with smugness showed the fiancé bragging about how he let her entertain herself with Papoose because he knew it would blow up in his face eventually. One line, in particular, sent chills through the timeline. "You don't embarrass me. You embarrass yourself." And he just did. Fans began piecing the puzzle together. Claressa's fiancé wasn't blindsided. He was waiting. And then, the bombshell. An insider from Remy Ma's circle dropped a voice memo to a major gossip blogger, claiming that Remy had been tipped off weeks before the dump happened. According to them, she knew Claressa was planning to make a public announcement, and she decided to let it play out just to see how Papoose would handle himself. She was testing him, the insider said. She wanted to see if he would run back to her or double down on Claressa. Either way, she'd have her answer. That answer came in the form of the now infamous SUV footage, Papoose leaning into the window, looking desperate, while Remy sat stone-faced. According to the source, Remy didn't just happen to be there. She made sure that meeting happened in public. She made sure the cameras caught it. She wanted him to feel what she felt. They claimed public humiliation. The same way his actions made her look like a fool when the rumors first started. The internet erupted. This wasn't just drama, this was revenge theater. TikTok was flooded with theories. Side-by-side breakdowns of Claressa's Instagram posts and the fiancé's smirks during interviews. Replays of Remy's icy demeanor in the SUV clip, set to Cold as Ice soundtracks. Amateur detectives mapping out timelines and overlapping events to prove this was all premeditated. And then came the celebrity reactions, which only made things worse for Papoose. Fat Joe, who has known both Remy and Papoose for years, posted a cryptic IG story. "Sometimes the best way to respond is silence. Let them drown in their own mess." While he didn't name names, fans instantly connected it to Pap's situation, especially since Joe had been spotted with Remy just days before. Meanwhile, Cardi B hopped into the comments of a gossip page with a laughing emoji and the words, "Ain't no loyalty test like a public one." Even Meek Mill weighed in, tweeting, "You can't play with people who got a bigger platform than you." They gon' control the story. For Papoose, the walls were closing in. Every time he tried to defend himself with vague focus on positivity posts, the replies dragged him back into the mud. But the true knockout came when Claressa decided to drop her own receipts. On a late-night live, She scrolled through her phone and pulled up a series of photos, nothing overtly romantic, but undeniably intimate. Dinner plates side by side. A mirror selfie with Papoose in the background. A blurry but recognizable shot of his hand holding hers across a restaurant table. "This ain't no rumor," she said, smirking. "This happened. But don't get it twisted, I was never his. My man's been my man." The comments section imploded. Some accused her of cloud chasing. Others called her a savage queen. But one comment stood out, racking up thousands of likes. She just confirmed she used him as a prop, and he played right into it. And that's when the real twist landed. A blog claimed they had obtained a private group chat between Claressa, her fiancé, and several friends, in which they joked about the Papoose plan as far back as 3 months ago, allegedly. One message from Claressa read, "If he keeps flirting, I'ma let him think he winning. Then we end him public." Her fiancé allegedly replied, "Cool, let's make it an event. If these receipts are real and fans are divided, then this wasn't a scandal. It was an execution. By now, Remy Ma had been spotted twice, once leaving a recording studio in Brooklyn, and once at a high-end restaurant, both times looking unbothered and refusing to answer paparazzi questions. But her silence only fueled speculation. Was she quietly plotting a public statement? Or was she letting Claressa's revenge serve as her own? And then, late last night, another insider leak claimed that Remy has been in talks with a major media outlet to do an exclusive tell-all interview, one where she'll finally give her side of the story and possibly reveal details about Papoose's alleged pattern of behavior. If that's true, the narrative could flip in an instant. Because if Remy comes forward with receipts of her own, Papoose's career might not just take a hit, it could be over. The question now isn't whether this saga will get uglier. The question is, how much uglier can it get before someone finally taps out? If you thought the industry would quietly sip tea on the sidelines while this mess played out, you underestimated just how much hip-hop loves a public meltdown. By sunrise the day after Claressa's late-night live, every gossip blog, podcast, and radio show was dissecting every frame, every screenshot, every smirk. The hashtags #Papoose Plan, #Claressa Sacco, and #Remy wins trended for 36 hours straight. And the takes? Absolutely brutal. On Twitter, it was open season. Fans split into camps. Team Remy, convinced this was long overdue karma for Papoose's shady moves. Team Claressa, praising her as a master of strategic humiliation. Team Pap, arguing he was being used as a pawn in a bigger, messier game. The quote tweets read like daggers. "Pap been playing chess? Nah, Claressa been playing 4D chess while he's still reading the rules. This is why you never get comfortable being the loyal one in public but messy in private." Remy didn't even have to throw a punch. She let Claressa do the KO for her. TikTok was worse. Entire accounts popped up dedicated to Papoose body language analysis, breaking down every blink, every shoulder slump, every nervous half smile. From the SUV footage, others were doing side-by-side edits of Claressa with her fiancé, showing them laughing together just hours after the dump. Even Instagram lives from other celebrities were getting hijacked with Pap-related comments. One fan spammed, "Blink twice if you know where Papoose is," during a Fat Joe live session, sending the chat into chaos. But the industry reaction was where it got really telling. Radio personality Charlemagne the God dedicated an entire Donkey of the Day segment to Papoose, saying, "We can forgive a lot in hip-hop, but playing yourself this bad, that's a legacy stain, my guy." Meanwhile, The Breakfast Club ran a poll asking listeners, who took the bigger L, Pap for getting played, or Claressa's fiancé for letting her do it? The results? 79% said Papoose, and they didn't hold back in the comments. Even Funk Flex, who usually keeps it music-focused, chimed in during a set, cutting the track mid-beat to say, "This is a cautionary tale. If your loyalty ain't locked in, somebody gonna make a fool out of you and the internet's gonna replay it forever." Behind the scenes, whispers grew louder about potential professional fallout. An insider from a major festival claimed Papoose had quietly been dropped from a summer lineup due to the optics. Apparently, sponsors weren't thrilled about the headlines overshadowing the music. Meanwhile, Claressa's stock seemed to be rising. Sports outlets that normally wouldn't touch hip-hop gossip were suddenly inviting her for interviews, though she cleverly refused to spill more tea, telling ESPN, "The ring is where I fight. What happens outside? That's just life." And Remy? The silence was deafening but strategic. Multiple industry figures confirmed she was getting flooded with offers for podcasts, interviews, even a docuseries. One source close to her said, "She knows the value of her words right now. The longer she waits, the more they'll pay and the bigger the audience when she speaks." But the fan war reached nuclear levels when an alleged recording surfaced of Papoose calling Remy in the middle of the night, begging for a private conversation. The clip, posted by an anonymous account, was scratchy and hard to verify, but the voice sounded eerily like Pap's. "Remy, please, don't let them drag me like this. You know the truth." The reply, if it was Remy, was ice cold. "The truth? The truth is you made your bed. Now you're lying in it. In front of everybody, whether real or fake." The audio was gasoline on an already raging fire. Podcast store into it. Fans memed it. And by the end of the week, the narrative was cemented. Papoose wasn't just caught in a messy love triangle, he was the punchline of the year. Yet, beneath the laughter, there was a creeping sense that this wasn't the end. Too many insiders hinted at bigger receipts that hadn't dropped yet. Too many cryptic posts from Claressa's fiancé about the encore. And if history has taught us anything in hip-hop drama, it's this: when everyone's laughing the hardest, the next bombshell is usually just around the corner, just when the internet thought it had squeezed every drop of drama from this saga. A curveball landed that made even the most seasoned gossip watchers stop mid-scroll. Late Friday night, a mysterious Dropbox link started circulating in private group chats between bloggers, YouTubers, and shady tea accounts. No caption, no context, just a word, uncut. Naturally, it didn't stay private for long. Within hours, clips from the file began surfacing on burner accounts, grainy phone footage from what looked like a dimly lit lounge. And there, in the center of the frame, sat Papoose and Claressa Shields. But here's the kicker: the timestamp in the corner showed it was recorded after she had gone public with her fiancé. The body language was undeniable. Claressa leaned in close, smiling in a way that wasn't just friendly. Pap's hand was flat on the table, his fingers inching toward hers like he was fighting himself not to cross the line. And the audio made jaws drop. A muffled but crystal clear line from Papoose: "You didn't have to do me like that. Not in front of the whole world." To which Claressa, without hesitation, replied, "You played me first. I just made sure I played you louder." The clip ended abruptly, but the damage was done. The implications were explosive. If this meeting happened after her public reunion with her fiancé, it meant either Claressa was still keeping Papoose in the picture or she was dangling him along for revenge. And the second half of the leak, even wilder. It showed a screenshot of an alleged text thread Claressa to an unknown contact labeled Big Rem. The messages were short, cutting, and left zero room for doubt. "Claressa, you were right about him. Big Rem told you. He can't help himself. Claressa, consider it handled." Fans instantly lost it. Was this proof that Remy Ma and Claressa had teamed up? That the entire public humiliation was planned, a calculated hit to strip Papoose of his loyal husband image once and for all? Within hours, theories were spiraling out of control. YouTube channels were uploading hour-long breakdowns with titles like "The Remy Claressa Conspiracy," "How They Took Pap Down," and "Papoose Never Stood a Chance to Set Up Explained." Even verified celebrities got involved. Rapper Mano tweeted, "They played chess. Pap was on checkers." Meanwhile, an anonymous insider told a major blog that this wasn't even the final move. "What you've seen so far is nothing compared to what's about to drop. There's another video, and if that goes public, Pap's career will never recover." And just when the frenzy hit peak chaos, Papoose finally broke his silence on his Instagram stories. In plain white text over a black background, he posted, "Y'all don't know the half. When the truth comes out, remember who stayed quiet the longest. No pictures, no video, no explanation. Just that." Within minutes, the screenshot of his story was everywhere, dissected like it was a verse in a diss track. Some claimed it was a warning shot at Remy and Claressa. Others said it sounded more like a desperate plea for sympathy. But here's the thing: that story vanished in under an hour. Deleted. Gone. No archive. And that's when a voice note, allegedly from Papoose to a close friend, began circulating. "I'm not going out like this. If they want war, they'll get it. But when I speak, ain't nobody safe." The tone? Angry. Determined. The kind of tone that says the next chapter won't just be messy, it'll be nuclear. Which leaves us here, standing at the edge of what might be the most volatile feud in recent hip-hop history, because if the whispers are true, the next bombshell won't just drag Remy and Claressa deeper into the fire. It's going to pull in names that nobody expected and blow open secrets that have been buried for years. And when that happens, this won't just be about betrayal. It'll be about survival. And now, we're left staring at the wreckage and the unanswered questions that could flip this whole story upside down again. Did Claressa and Remy really mastermind a coordinated takedown of Papoose? Was that late-night lounge footage proof that Claressa kept Pap in the loop for her own twisted revenge, or was she stringing him along to twist the knife even deeper? And most importantly, what exactly is this other video that insiders keep hinting about? One thing's for sure: the way this is spiraling, we're only scratching the surface. Every leak so far has led to another leak. Every final word has just been the start of the next chapter. And every silence feels like it's hiding something explosive. So now, it's over to you. Drop your wildest theories in the comments. Because honestly, at this point, nothing sounds too crazy. Do you think Papoose is sitting on his own receipts that could turn the tables completely? Is Remy quietly pulling strings from behind the curtain, waiting for the perfect moment to break the internet? Or is Claressa playing both sides, making sure everybody walks away with scars? And while you're down there, hit that like button if you think this drama is about to get even messier. Trust me, you're gonna want to be subscribed with notifications on, because when the next bomb drops, you won't just want to watch it. You'll want to watch it first, because if the whispers are true, the next update won't just be shocking, it'll drag in names that will make this feud legendary. This isn't the end. This is just the setup. Stay locked.